What's up, guys? It is 5 o'clock in the morning. We're all loaded up, headed down the road to the lake. We're gonna try and get on a little topwater bite this morning. Now, I'm usually more of a evening fishing, night fishing kind of guy, but when it comes to topwater bass fishing, I think that old saying holds true that early bird gets the worm. Well, I guess fish in this case. So with that being said, I drug my butt out of bed this morning and we're headed on down to the lake to see if we can catch us some topwater bass. All right, so we made it out here on the water, and let me tell y'all, this humidity is through the roof already. I got sweat rolling off my forehead. It's 6 a.m. in the morning. It's gonna be a really hot one, and we're gonna kick things off with this white and bone colored frog there. I really like those light colored baits early in the morning like this. I can see them really well, and I think the fish can see them well also. And let me give you guys a quick rundown on this lake. So this place is extremely deep, up to 70, even 80 feet in some spots, and the visibility is just insane. So you get a lot of grass mats and vegetation in this lake, and that's exactly what we're gonna focus on today. We're gonna get back in these coves, like this one straight ahead of us here. There's a lot of submerged trees back there too, and that always helps out. And we're just gonna hop from cove to cove, working our topwater. We're gonna work it over those grass mats, over that vegetation, and just see what happens, guys. So let's get into it and start catching some fish. Oh man, well, we almost had our first fish there. I think it's kind of a little guy. Seems like he just quite didn't get it all in his mouth, but man, that's exciting. Well, I had a couple more blowups on that frog, just can't seem to get hooked up this morning. So I'm gonna tie on something different, shelve that frog for a minute, and we're gonna try out this Hedon tiny torpedo, little bass flavor there. See if we can catch us a cannibal this morning. There we go. There's that blow up I wanted. Not a big fish, but heck yeah, we got one. We got one. Little cannibal there. You like eating baby bass? You look pretty scrawny, so you probably needed any meal you could get. All right, bud. Catch you later. They took me right into all that crap. I think we still got him. Oh no. He just got me hung up. Dang it. Still a load of fun though. Another one on the tiny torpedo. Oh, might have to get pliers on that one. He choked that thing. I think this is going to be a really good spot here. See all this kind of grass floating on the surface? That tells me the wind was blowing this way. So hopefully these fish will be piled up over here. Oh my goodness, dude. Is that a snapping turtle? That thing is massive. I'm gonna try and make my way over there. Man, look at the size of that turtle, y'all. That thing take a few fingers clean off. Wow. He just looks like a rock sitting in that grass. That's crazy. Really got to keep the pressure even on these little guys here. There's so many trees and vegetation down there for them to get me wrapped up in. Can't even give them an inch. Some really skinny bass in this lake. It's surprising because as I'm just kind of cruising around and looking, I see a lot of bait fish. I see a lot of forage. Maybe they're just overpopulated in here. This is a really low pressured lake, so it's a good possibility. Anyway, I'm gonna get this lure out of this guy and we'll send him on back. All right, guys, I got a confession to make. I know for a fact from watching my graph this morning, the majority of these fish are out in 20 plus feet of water. But despite that, I still really wanted to put some topwater fish in the boat. That seems to be drying up here. There's always a few strays up in the shallows that you can catch, but it's not looking too good. So we're gonna put the little torpedo away, even though he's done us well this morning. Put some fish in the boat for us, and we're gonna switch over to something that's gonna get down there, get down deep, and get us to those fish. Now this is a Lucky Craft Lightning Pointer. It's a deep diving jerkbait. This thing with the right leader, get it down about 12 feet or so. So it'll be right over those fish's heads, at least down there where they can get a good look at it. Hopefully come up and eat that thing. Big old crappie. All right. Didn't expect that. There he is. Jerkbait eating crappie. You thought you was big enough to eat that, dude? There we go. Pulled us up a decent little bass with that jerkbait. Actually, I had a buddy chasing after him too. Saw him come up after him. See if we can pull some more up. Well, that jerkbait just isn't bringing those fish up the way I thought it would. So we're gonna go down to them. And to do that, we're gonna use a Texas rigged trick worm. And I've got a lightweight on there because I want this thing to get down, but I don't want it to sink in that grass, that dense vegetation down there. If I put a heavy weight, it's just gonna drop right into that stuff and those fish are never gonna see it. So hopefully that's light enough that it's just gonna kind of lay on top of that grass and those fish can come along and suck that thing right up. There we go, that's a decent fish. Got him on that old trick worm. It might be the trick. No pun intended. Just gotta put it down there where they're at. up to it. All right, buddy. Thank you. Tons of little bass in this cove. Hey, we're catching something there. You know what? This might not be the best idea, but I came out here today with the goal of throwing topwater and catching fish on topwater. So we're gonna go back to the tiny Torpedo. Yes, that was sick. Freaking nailed that thing. It's crazy how a little tiny fish like that can do such an exciting blow up. Thank you, bud. There we go. There's another topwater bite. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we came for today, baby. Not a big fish, but yeah, I don't care. I just love catching bass on topwater. There he is on that tiny Torpedo. Freaking nailed it. Can't tell if it's a decent sized bass or not. It's not bad. Not bad. Had to go back to that worm for a little bit. Wasn't having too much luck with the topwater anymore. There we go. Probably one of the better fish today. Might actually be cracking a pound. Sweet. Thanks, bud. Decided to switch it up there on the worm colors. It's passing over a lot of fish I wasn't getting bites from with the black worm, so went with that green and blue there. So I think I'm gonna get out of here soon. Looks like we might lose this cloud cover. It's really starting to warm up. I'm getting a little hungry as well. But I wanna get out of here before it gets too hot. I gotta drag my kayak up that big hill over there. Not looking forward to that. But before we do that, there's one last spot I wanna hit. And that's gonna be this huge point that actually starts over there along that bank. And this point extends all the way out here into the middle of the lake, about 20 yards out here in front of us. So I'm actually gonna start slowing down. And fish just love to load up all over this point. If you don't have electronics, you'd have no clue it's even here. But it's just this big grass covered point that comes all the way out here, probably 200 yards long. And it drops off real steep on the sides, drops down to about 50 to 60 feet on either side of this point. So we're gonna fish this real quick. I'm gonna hit it with the worm. I think that topwater bite's just dead by now. Decent little guy there. Man, they're stacked on this point. It's like almost every cast I get hit before it even hits the bottom. A little bigger out here than fish we were catching this morning. Still not big fish, but enough to put up a little fight. I'll take that. I'm just gonna trim up the Senko here a little bit. When they get split like that on the tip, I like to take my scissors and just kind of shape it back down. Get a nice little point like that. Let's thread it right back on. Catch some more fish with it. I can't tell. I can't tell. No, he's not that big. It's a decent fish. Certainly a decent fish. That might be the one of the day right there. I think that's the fish of the day. Oh yeah. It might be a 2-pounder. Certainly could be if you put on a little weight. Got a big old mouth on him. Got us a decent one, y'all. Well guys, I think it's about time to head on out. These clouds are starting to open up and it's getting really warm. I got a long drag up that hill with a kayak, but this is an awesome bite we got on this morning. Glad we were able to get on some topwater fish. Thank y'all for coming along with me. Let's do it again sometime. Peace.